Chapter 44. Possessiveness. Mr. Pierce, Miss Hart is inside. Logan stood outside the hospital room. He glanced inside. There was no one else besides the person lying on the bed. Adrian's face was anxious as he pushed open the door and strode in. On the hospital bed, the girl's pure face was deathly pale. He stopped at the foot of the bed, tenderness rising in his eyes. He slowly moved to sit beside the bed, gripping her hand that was hidden under the blanket. Her hand was still as cold as before. Adrian bent down, pressing Ava's hand to his lips, closing his eyes, his voice carrying fear. "Ava, wake up when you've slept enough." Ava struggled to open her eyes, her consciousness just returning when she felt warm liquid falling on the back of her hand. Her throat was dry and painful, wanting to speak but lacking strength. "Water." After a long while, Ava finally squeezed out one word from her throat. Hearing her voice, Adrian suddenly looked up. Those bloodshot eyes entered Ava's vision, and she was slightly stunned, involuntarily remembering when she was 15. She had fallen seriously ill then. Her parents weren't in the country, they were abroad with Grace, after surgery. When she woke up, she had seen Adrian looking exactly like this. "I'll get you water. Wait a moment." Adrian released Ava's hand and stood up. His tall figure seemed to have less of its usual dominance and coldness. The corner of Ava's mouth lifted slightly. She had still won. It seemed even heaven was helping her, but it really hurt. Her internal organs felt as if they had been crushed, and even breathing caused some dull pain in her chest. Ava gently placed her left hand on her lower abdomen. She had worn the mask of kindness for so long that when the accident happened, she really had treated herself as that kind, gentle little angel. She had really gotten too into character. Adrian placed the straw in her mouth. Ava took a sip, and as the water flowed down her throat, the burning sensation eased somewhat. After a while, she released her teeth from the straw. "Adrian, why are you here? You should have just finished getting engaged to sister, right?" Adrian set the water glass aside and helped tuck her blanket. "Don't you value your life?" With so many people there, was there no one else who could save her besides you? Adrian countered with questions instead of answering. His voice carried thick displeasure. This gave Ava the illusion of returning to the past. Adrian had always loved controlling her. Activities like mountain climbing, skiing, and skydiving were things Adrian never allowed her to do. Even her dance injuries caused Adrian considerable criticism. He had even wanted her to stop dancing. Every time she got a minor injury, she had to act cute with Adrian for a long time. Only then would he reluctantly calm down. Her application to schools abroad 6 years ago had also been done behind Adrian's back. If Adrian had known she was going so far away to study, he definitely wouldn't have agreed. "Adrian, I hurt so much." Ava softly gripped Adrian's fingers, acting cute, not wanting to hear more of these lectures. Adrian snorted coldly. "I saw you had quite the courage when you fell down." Based on Ava's position at the time, she wouldn't necessarily have fallen. She had actively leaned outward, which caused her to fall. Ava pressed her lips. "If I didn't fall, it would have hit my legs." Compared to having disabled legs and never being able to dance again, she felt dying might be better. "Adrian, you value whether your legs are disabled so much. No wonder you immediately went abroad when I got injured. Afraid I'd cling to you, right?" Ava lightly scratched Adrian's palm. "Adrian, I didn't. I was sick then. I was afraid of dragging you down, so I left." Ava lied without blushing or her heart racing. Adrian appearing here, she believed that medical report and records had played a big role. Adrian looked at her deeply. Ava's eyelid twitched. Sleep. A cold, large hand covered her eyes, blocking the light. Ava closed her eyes. She had thought the pain would keep her awake, but strangely, she fell asleep quickly. After she fell asleep, Adrian withdrew his hand. He took out his phone from his pocket and turned it on. After turning on, there were countless missed calls and messages. He stood up and walked out. Logan was sitting on the bench outside the hospital room. Seeing him come out, he immediately stood up. "Mr. Pierce, is Miss Hart's condition serious?" Adrian lazily lifted his eyelids. "You're quite concerned about her?" Logan's heart tightened. Adrian had rushed over immediately upon seeing news of Ava's accident. No matter how stupid he was, he understood Adrian's feelings for Ava. Having worked beside Adrian for so long, this was the first time he realized Adrian was such a possessive person. He wouldn't allow others to care about Ava. When dating the Hart family's eldest daughter, Adrian was never like this. "Don't let news of me being here get out." Logan placed his hands in front of him respectfully. "Mr. Pierce, rest assured, I absolutely won't let the news get out, including you visiting Miss Hart. It won't appear in any media." Ava was somewhat of a public figure. If news spread that the sister's boyfriend had run away from his engagement just to see her when she was injured, who knew how far public opinion would ferment? "I don't want to see news about runaway grooms in any media. Find 2 more people to guard the hospital room. Don't let irrelevant people disturb her." Logan agreed to everything. Seeing Adrian about to turn and go back in, Logan quickly called out to him. "Mr. Pierce?" "Adrian." Tommy's voice rang out along with his. Beside him, Justin was carrying a thermos. Logan swallowed. He quietly stepped aside. Originally, he had wanted to tell Adrian that the person who had brought Ava to the hospital was Justin. Now it was perfect. He didn't need to say anything. "Why are you here?" Adrian's brow furrowed. His gaze was too cold. Justin somewhat guiltily looked away. Tommy raised his little face. "Cousin naturally came to see his wife." "Adrian, why are you here? I heard from Cousin that you're getting engaged today. Did you come with your fiancé?" Tommy looked completely innocent. He held Justin's hand, blinking as he looked at Adrian. "Want to steal his cousin's woman? No way." Adrian's face was full of frost, his voice terrifyingly low. "When did she become your sister-in-law?" Tommy suddenly felt a chill on his neck. He hugged Justin's leg and pouted, looking matter-of-fact. "Adrian, Ava will definitely marry my cousin in the future, so she's my sister-in-law. I'm just calling her that in advance," Adrian said in a low voice. "She won't like your cousin." Hearing this, Tommy immediately got angry. "How could she not? My cousin is so good, Ava will definitely like him. At worst, he'd make his cousin treat Ava even better." "All right, stop talking nonsense." Justin covered his cousin's mouth. Tommy snorted and glared at Adrian. "Big bad guy." "Adrian, shouldn't you be getting engaged at home? How did you end up here?" Justin smiled and spoke leisurely. Adrian countered instead of answering. "Shouldn't I be asking you why you're here?